Driven people become more driven when they have adversity. They become more driven when they have success. They want more. They know exactly where they want to go, exactly how they're going to get there, exactly who they want to go on that journey with, other driven people. They know what they need to do each and every day to achieve what they want to achieve. We built a room full of driven guys. That's why you're here.
It's week number 4 of this National Football League season, and welcome to the Jason Garrett Show, powered by Reliant Energy. Bill Jones along with Cowboys head coach Jason Garrett. Sunday night football this week. The Cowboys taking on the New Orleans Saints, and over the last several years, Jason, it's been a very entertaining matchup, close matchups with the Saints. Network TV just likes this matchup, and you know that scene at the Superdome on Sunday night is going to be pretty electric, don't you?
Yeah, you know, we've had great games with these guys the last few years. Really good battles, competitive games. They've seemed to come down to the wire, and you said it, going down to the Superdome on a Sunday night. It'll be loud, it'll be electric, and it'll be a great atmosphere to play in. Of
course, Sean Payton now in his 14th season as the head coach of the Saints. You go back further than that, though, with him, going back to your playing days with the Giants, right?
Yeah, Sean was our offensive coordinator when I was playing quarterback for the Giants, so I've known him for a long, long time and learned so much from him. I consider him a dear friend, and he's a great football coach. He's had a big impact on me through the years.
Okay, the Saints, of course, the big news, the early part of this season, losing Drew Brees to an injury, but they have a more than capable replacement in Teddy Bridgewater. Of course, started his career with the Vikings. They won last week with Bridgewater at quarterback in Seattle. How does it change or how does it affect your plans for this game with Bridgewater at quarterback?
Well, obviously, Drew Brees is one of the greatest players in the history of the National Football League, and he's been such a great player for them for so long and the leader of their team. But Teddy Bridgewater has started a lot of games. He's a really capable football player, and again, been a starting quarterback in this league, very experienced, very smart. And I think you saw that last week when they played Seattle. That's a tough environment to go play in, and he played really well. They benefited from getting a couple returns, a fumble return for a touchdown and a punt return, but he went out there and really executed their offense and played at a very high level.
And playing at a very high level last week and throughout his career has been Alvin Kamara, too. The challenge of defending him. Last week, in fact, he had 25 touches for 166 yards and a couple of scores against the Seahawks.
Yeah, he's just a really good football player, and he's a complete back. They hand him the ball, and he runs it inside. He bounces it outside. They throw it to him from out of the backfield. They line him up at receiver and get him the ball. And he just has great quickness and explosiveness and a feel and a knack for getting away from people. He's elusive. He's physical at the end of runs. He's got a competitive spirit. He's just a really good football player. He's had a big impact on their team.
And then, of course, Michael Thomas leading the NFC in receptions. When you look at where your secondary is here 3 games into the season and the challenge that they face this week against the Saints offense, where do they set right now?
Yeah, that's a good word. It's a challenge. They got a lot of different weapons, the receivers, tight ends, the back. All those guys, they attack a lot of different ways, but Michael Thomas is the featured guy. They love to throw the ball to him, and easy to see why. When they throw it there, good things happen for him. He's big, he's physical, he's competitive at the ball, and just makes a lot of plays for him.
Robert Quinn last week in his Cowboys debut, I think he got around 45 snaps, and he was just relentless getting after the quarterback.
He sure was. It was great to see Robert out there. We've competed against him for a lot of years and had such great respect for him, and we're excited to bring him to our team. And everything we heard about him was so positive as a guy, how he was a real pro, and how he loved to play football. But we've gotten a chance to see that up close, through the offseason program, through training camp, and now in his first game action this year. He just did an outstanding job. We probably had him slated for maybe playing less than 30 plays in the game, ended up playing mid-40s and was all over the place. A very good run defender, relentless chase on the ball, was around the quarterback, had a sack. We're lucky to have him.
All right, we're just getting started here on this edition of the Jason Garrett Show. Up next, it's David Moore of the Dallas Morning News.
The Jason Garrett Show is brought to you by AT&T. More for your thing, that's our thing. Ford. Ford is the best in Texas. The University of North Texas, proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys. And by Miller Lite, the only beer of the Cowboys. This segment is brought to you by the Dallas Morning News. Nobody does sports like Sports Day. Your home for complete Dallas Cowboys coverage.
Set the tone for the whole game, left tack. We need a long drive, right? We need to put one together this game. Let's go put a long one together now. Let's go. Get your depth, it might be you. Here we go, on attack, don't move. Flank right, slash 36, shoot, all right, on attack, go. 35. Now, here we go, let's go, count. Hey, way to go. That's a hell of a job right there on the bottom of the count. Let's go! Let's go, baby.
Welcome back to the Jason Garrett Show, powered by Reliant Energy. As always, we are now joined by David Moore of the Dallas Morning News. It's not always that he sports the opposing team's colors, but he has opted to do that.
Strictly coincidence.
It is coincidence.
Or is it?
I don't know. Michael Irvin does that on the NFL Network. We'll see if it works for David Moore here from a Cowboys perspective, of course. All right, let's go to social media and let's hear from one Drip Bayless with the question of the week for you, David. Does Tyrone Crawford play more defensive tackle once he's healthy with Quinn playing well?
That's a really good question, and I think the answer is yes. I think the fact that Quinn played as much as he did in the Miami game after being out for a prolonged period of time is a clear indication they want him to handle that defensive end spot on the left side. He gives a more consistent rush than what Crawford does. And Tyrone Crawford's greatest value across this defensive line his entire time here has been that they put him wherever they need him, and he plays at a very high level. So I think you probably will see him mixed inside at the 1 technique and the 3 technique a little bit more with the way Robert Quinn is playing.
And we're going to see a lot of Robert Quinn this week, of course, with Crawford battling that hip injury. All right, let's talk third quarter of games. And, you know, Dak Prescott has had a perfect quarterback rating in an earlier game this season, but literally in the third quarter, he is perfect, right?
Yeah, he's has not missed a pass in the third quarter this season, which is remarkable. He's 22 of 22. I believe it's around 360-plus yards. 3 touchdown passes, no interceptions. He also has rushed for another touchdown in the third quarter. And this has been the Cowboys' most decisive quarter this season. They've outscored opponents 35-10. And what they've done in the third quarter is they've really put the game out of reach going into the fourth. It's more about managing the game and the clock in the fourth than it is being put in any pressurized situations in order to win the game. So it's had a tremendous, it's tilted the pendulum in their favor tremendously. And I think another interesting thing here, too, is so often in the past, you've seen Cowboys come out in the third quarter and kind of double down and run Ezekiel Elliott more, impose their will, just wear teams down. The fact they're handing it to Dak Prescott in the third quarter to win the game and then giving the ball back to Elliott, I think is a significant development with this team going forward.
And, of course, he had a 74-yard touchdown pass that was called back to start the third quarter last week. David Moore, we appreciate it. More of the Jason Garrett Show in just a moment with the rookie running back, Tony Pollard.
This segment was brought to you by the Dallas Morning News. Nobody does sports like Sports Day. Your home for complete Dallas Cowboys coverage.
Welcome back to the Jason Garrett Show, powered by Reliant Energy. Bill Jones inside the Academy Sports and Outdoor Studios here at the Star. Time to take a look at that rookie running back who had 103 yards last week. That would be one Tony Pollard.
The previous game, we had 2 backs with 100 yards, something that hadn't been done in 20-some years, and it just shows, the hard work that we've been putting in, the hard work the O-line's been putting in throughout practices. Everything's leading up into the games, and the team is moving in the right direction. And it just makes life easier, not even just running the ball, but like as far as pass protections and picking up blitzes, those guys communicate so good up front, they make our job easier for us.
And a sprint draw to Pollard, look at him go. Weaves left now right to the 30. Breaks a tackle to the 25. Pollard to the 21 before the safety McCain ran him down.
It's different holes, so sometimes you may come through and the hole may be wide open. Sometimes you have to make your own, or sometimes it'll be a small crease and you just have to find a way to fit through it.
I don't know why there's even any receivers in the game. Handoff to Pollard, coming left, breaks a tackle, 10-5, Tony Pollard. First NFL touchdown.
It was a wide zone play, so it was what we think on wide zone is, stretch it, get everybody flowing and get upfield. So I did a good job stretching it, and I seen the opening. Jameis, he did a good job blocking for me, and I just was able to break a tackle, and I seen daylight and just went to the end zone.
That was a strong run by Pollard. What a nice day for him.
It was. And he's got that football, and he's carrying it back to the bench with him. First NFL touchdown.
I mean, it was just a good feeling. You know, all the guys meet me down there in the end zone. You know, by the time I turned around, everybody was down there. So, you know, it was just a good feeling, you know, all the guys in the end zone celebrating.
So proud of you, bro. So proud of you, man.
You know, everybody on the team is pretty close. It's actually like a big family. You know, everybody on the team has a good bond. You know, everything that we've been through from training camp, mini camp, you know, OTA. So just that bond that we've been developing, you know, it's showing on the field. Just staying focused and, you know, not letting all the noises from the outside get to you, and just, you know, just staying focused, keeping your head down, working, and doing what got us to this point, you know, just keeping that hard work. Well, a lot more wins and, you know, just success all around. You know, receivers scoring touchdowns, running backs scoring touchdowns, you know, QB scoring touchdowns, just success, you know, scoring touchdowns on special teams, defense. So, you know, we're just looking for a lot more success throughout this season.
A breakout game for young Tony Pollard last week. Coming up next here on the Jason Garrett Show, the head coach rejoins us, and Will McClay breaks down those edge rushers on the New Orleans defense. The Jason Garrett Show, powered by Reliant Energy, continues now. Bill Jones joined by Will McClay. Let's take a look at the Saints defense, and in particular, a couple of edge rushers. They've used first-round picks on Cam Jordan as well as Marcus Davenport.
Yeah, we talk about the offense a lot, but we'll look at the defense, and they're pretty salty themselves. Here, we'll take a look. They've got Davenport here. He's 6'5", runs a 4.57. You've got Jordan here. You always keep your eyes on him. So they'll do different things. Now, they're going to spy the quarterback here with an athletic guy, so we'll see. They're going to run an X stunt. He's going to come outside. He's going to go here at the guard and then go here. Then you're going to have a move by Jordan. He will be on the outside. He'll start up, and he will come inside using speed and power. Take a look at it, get the quarterback to move. All right, they're moving around, trying to confuse the offensive line. Speed, pick, and then Jordan closes, and they get a sack there.
That was against the Texans, second game against the Rams, using them in different spots on the defensive line.
All right, now we're going to take a look at, again, they move their guys around. So here's Davenport. They're going to move around to confuse the offense. Davenport's aligned here. We got Cam Jordan outside. They're going to get pressure up the middle, and he's going to win on the edge. This is a mismatch against the guard, and then we'll see Cam on the edge. You'll watch him. Violent hands equal violent feet, and then the bend around the corner. I'll show you one more time. His ability to dip and rip around the corner makes the quarterback move. There's pressure in his face. There's another sack.
All right, and then game number 3 against the Seattle Seahawks. More of the same.
All right, against the Seahawks, they're going to try and do the same thing that we talked about in the first play. Now, they're going to use him as a spy on the quarterback. They're going to get edge pressure here, and it's going to make the quarterback move, and you'll see the athleticism of Davenport and make them get rid of the ball and for an incomplete pass. There's the pressure. Now, he's mirroring the quarterback. You'll see the speed and the close, which makes a difficult throw for the quarterback.
All right, so for an offense, how do you beat that?
Well, what they do is they're going to bring pressure, and you're going to see a lot of single high coverage, a lot of man-to-man, so you can exploit them with big plays if you have the time and you protect well. Here we'll look at the Rams. Single high safety, the safety's deep. Everybody's in man-to-man coverage. Somebody's got to win their one-on-one. You got to protect, get the ball out of your hands quick, and then you got to make big plays. A 66-yard touchdown here by Cooper Kupp.
And then last week against Seattle, Tyler Lockett had a big day, and here's an example here of how he did that.
All right, here you go. They're going to try and, again, confuse the offense. This is a third down, I believe. They're going to try and confuse the offense. They got guys standing up. They got 2 high safeties. But what you're going to see is a great route combination. They're going to push it vertical, widen the safety, and he's going to go deep. They're going to hold the other safety with another deep route. So it's the combination of routes, protecting the quarterback, and then winning when you have an opportunity. So we'll take a look at it here. You'll watch Tyler Lockett down here at the bottom. He's going to bend his route outside. It widens the safety. He beats him across his face, gets rid of the ball on time, and another explosive play.
Could be some opportunities in the vertical passing game for the Cowboys. Thanks to Will McClay. Here's what the Cowboys have to say about these Saints.
I mean, you look at the offensive line we have, I'll put them up against anybody. And I'll probably put them up against a Pro Bowl roster, to be honest with you. So I don't necessarily look at that or worry about that or let that creep in the back of my head that these guys, they have this guy or that guy, but they're good, respectively so. They're good. Numbers show it. You turn on the film, you show it. Team that plays hard. Guys up front, they get after it, but I'm going to trust my guys every day of the week.
Obviously, they had opportunity to go to the Super Bowl last year, but this is a new year and still early in the season, and every game is a test. You have different adversity that you have to face in every game, and we just have to go down there and find a way to come out with a win.
And now the coach rejoins us here as we talk about what Will McClay just examined thoroughly for us. Those edge rushers for the Saints, and they actually through 3 games lead the league in quarterback pressures. But your offensive line has done a terrific job so far this year.
Yeah, if you look at that Saints defensive front, there's 4 first-round picks up there. And, Cam Jordan is an outstanding player for them and has been. Very good run defender. We used that word relentless earlier in describing Robert Quinn, and that's what this guy is, relentless getting after the passer. And like I said, they got a number of other guys up there who were high picks, very talented group. They've made big investments on that defensive front. So be a great challenge for our guys going down there on Sunday night.
Amari Cooper's gotten off to a terrific start, taking up where he left off the second half of last year since coming over in the trade from the Raiders. What has impressed you the most about Amari since you've gotten to really know him here in the last year?
Really everything. We studied him a lot coming out of school, so we knew him. We knew he was a really talented guy. He's got a big, strong body. He's quick, he's fast, he's explosive. He's great change of direction. He's in and out of cuts at the top of routes, really as well as anybody I've been around. And runs a variety of routes, both outside and inside. Maybe the thing that stands out the most is his professionalism and how he wants to be a great player and how he works at the craft of route running. He and Dak have developed a really good relationship in a short period of time, and it really shows up. And he's one of those guys that you can ask him to do anything, and he's capable of doing it, and he wants to do it. He's not uncomfortable out there in any position on the field, and he makes a lot of plays. Been very impactful for our team.
Big day for Tony Pollard, the rookie out of Memphis last week. But I want to ask you, from a scouting perspective or however it was discovered that Tony Pollard could be the type back to be able to make this transition this quickly into the NFL. Where did that come from? Because he was playing behind the lead back Darrell Henderson at Memphis.
Yeah, everybody loved him. When he played at Memphis, he played well. He was more of a space player in college. You saw his return ability. You saw his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield, and he looked like a space runner. But when he went down to the Senior Bowl, he ran the ball inside. And I think everybody was really impressed with that, the physicality that he ran with. And we were convinced, even though we didn't do it that much in college, that he'd be capable of doing it at this level. And I think you've seen him do that better and better with every game that he's played. He's run inside, he's run outside, he's caught passes for us. But the way he's finished runs is probably the thing that stands out the most.
All right, the unsung star of the week when we come back here on the Jason Garrett Show. Final minute or so here at the Jason Garrett Show, powered by Reliant Energy. And Jason, unsung star of the week. Unsung for me, not for you. I'm going with Joe Thomas, who had 33 snaps on defense, 20 more on special teams last week. 60-year guy out of South Carolina State.
Yeah, I think he is unsung to a lot of people outside our organization. He's not unsung to us. He was recognized after the game with some game recognition for exactly what you said. He was all over the place. He made a lot of plays in the game. In the latter part of the game, he got a lot of snaps. And he was around the ball, and he was physical, and he was hitting people and knocking them backwards, showed up in special teams. And the thing maybe we like most about Joe is his versatility. He backs up all 3 linebacker spots. He's all over special teams. And whenever he gets a chance to play, he's ready for it, and he takes advantage of it. And, we've used that word a lot. The guy's a pro. He's absolutely a pro, and we're lucky to have him. And, your team is only as good as the backup players. And we really feel good about the linebacking core that we have. But if any of those guys goes down, we feel good about putting Joe Thomas out there, and he proved that again last week.
All right, Jason, we appreciate it, and good luck at the Superdome.
Thank you, Bill.
Night. And we appreciate you joining us here for the Jason Garrett Show. We will see you again next week when the Cowboys take on the Green Bay Packers.
The Jason Garrett Show was brought to you by Ford. Ford is the best in Texas. Bank of America, the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. Miller Lite, the only beer of the Cowboys. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by NFL Game Pass. You'll never miss a game again. Enjoy full access to coaches' film and game replays from Week 1 to the Super Bowl. Subscribe at DallasCowboys.com/Game Pass.
Thank you.
I didn't get around to the dynamite and small package.